Greetings of peace and love, my dear learners. I am Misaki Eliama, a third-year BS Ed English student of Negros Oriental State University, Shatan Campus, your discussant for today. Welcome to ED301, the teacher and the school curriculum class. The content of this discussion is about curriculum design, mainly in its types, which are subject-centered, learner-centered, and problem-centered design. But this time, I will discuss to you the first design, which is subject-centered design, because the remaining two types will be discussed by my groupmate, Mr. Alvin Escomo. Are you ready to explore and learn about this topic? If yes, let's start! Alright, before I will proceed on the discussion proper, I have a question for you to think about. Can you identify what type of curriculum design you experienced in your elementary years? How about junior and senior years? And now in college? If you have the idea now, just keep it in mind because on our succeeding part, you will know and learn the types of curriculum design. Now, for the objectives. At the end of the discussion, we will be able to internalize the importance of each type in the teaching and learning process. Explain each type in our own words. Identify the different types of curriculum design. First, let's define curriculum. The term curriculum is defined as the lessons and academic content taught in school or in a specific course or program. In dictionaries, the curriculum is often defined as the course offered by a school, but it is rarely used in such a general sense in schools, depending on how broadly educators define or employ the term. Curriculum typically refers to the knowledge and skills students are expected to learn. And what is a curriculum design? Curriculum design is a process of creating a curriculum that aligns with the goals, objectives, and learning outcomes of a course. It may involve creating an entirely new curriculum or making changes to an existing one so that it better meets the needs of students taking the course. This includes the learning standards or learning objectives they are expected to meet, the units and lessons the teachers teach, the assignment or projects given to the students, books, materials, videos, and presentations. It also contains readings used in the course, the tests, assessments, and other methods used to evaluate students' learning. It includes extracurricular activities and resources available at schools. The purpose of a curriculum design is to help educational institutions to meet the needs of their students. This time, let's talk about subject-centered design. In subject-centered design, the curriculum is centered around a particular discipline. Just imagine if you could go to school and only take science classes. That's the idea behind this type of curriculum design, to provide a complete experience in one specific field of study. It involves using a specific subject as a focal point of learning. Teachers use subject-centered curriculum design when creating curriculum about a specific subject material or educational topic. This type of curriculum design focuses on the educational material rather than a specific learning style. For example, a teacher may make a curriculum design that focuses only on math concepts using generalized activities that cater to a variety of learning styles. Subject-centered curriculum design includes information about the subject that the class studies. It typically provides details on specific activities, coursework, and exams a class can complete for each subject. It's common for teachers to use subject-centered design for larger classes, since it may be more challenging to make student-centered curriculum involve each student in their class. While it's easier for schools to use subject-centered curriculum, it may be more challenging to use this curriculum design to cater to each student's specific needs. Subject-centered curriculum design is the most popular and most widely used. It focuses on the content and the knowledge, corresponds mostly to the textbook written for the specific subject. There are 5 categories or classifications of subject-centered design curriculum. These are subject design, discipline design, broad fields design, correlation design, and process design. When we talk about subject design, it is associated as separate subject design. This curriculum is organized on the basis of how essential knowledge has been developed in various subject areas. It's easy to deliver and more on traditional. Complementary books are written and support instructional materials are commercially available. However, this category neglects students' needs, interests, and experiences. Next one is discipline design, which is based on content's inherent organization. The manner in which content is learned is suggested by the methods of scholars employed to the study of content of their fields and focuses on the academic discipline. It advocates view the school as a microcosm of the world of intellect. The methods by which scholars study the content of their fields suggest the ways by which students learn that content. Students experience the discipline so that they can comprehend and conceptualize. In this design, the students attain mastery of content and independent learning. Stresses on understanding conceptual structures and subjects are taught to any child at any stage of development. And Brunner believed that any subject can be taught in some effectively honest form to any child at any stage of development. Intellectual activity anywhere is the same, but it has weaknesses which ignores the vast amount of information that cannot be classified as discipline knowledge, addresses only the interests of the college or higher education. It is compulsory for students to adapt to the curriculum. The third category of subject-centered curriculum design is the broad fields design, which is often called interdisciplinary design. This design strives to give students a sweeping understanding of all content areas. It attempts to integrate content that fit together logically to discern relationships among various aspects of the curriculum content, as well as wholeness of meaning. It brings together well-accepted content fields, consist of related conceptual clusters rather than subjects or disciplines combined in interdisciplinary organization. It focuses on curriculum web, the connection between related themes or concepts. The design is a holistic curriculum, however, its weakness, breadth, the expense of depth. How will the students learn to appreciate the value of learning and reading if knowledge is made so superficial in schools? How much was learned by the students? And the fourth category is correlation design, which attempts to identify ways in which subjects can be related yet maintain their separate identities, allows for some connection or linkage of separate subjects that differ from each other in order to reduce fragmentation of the curricular content. What makes this design interesting is that collaboration of ideas between or among teachers, which results in combination of subjects in an innovative manner, allows a linkage of some subjects to reduce fragmentation because the subjects are correlated, organized, and selected with broad themes, problems, and units. However, it is possible to experience the lack of time for collaboration, which requires teachers to plan differently and cooperatively. Class schedules don't allow block of time sufficient for students to meaningfully study correlated subjects and requires alternative forms of scheduling. Last but not the least is process design. This focuses on the procedures and processes by which students advance knowledge, either in specific and fixed disciplines or general terms. Students are meaning makers. The teaching of intelligence and development of intellectual character is focused, and educators suggest that students be taught to think. In process designs that reflect in a modern orientation, students learn the process of knowledge acquisition in order to reach some degree of consensus. It teaches students to think critically and analytically. However, it lacks emphasis on the content of the subject, theme, or curriculum, gives more privilege to the scientific method, and it implies the existence of a fully objective reality. As such, Students must realize the methods of inquiry result in the world that, to some extent, they construct. That ends my discussion with subject-centered design. Now let's move on to student-centered and problem-centered design to be discussed by Mr. Alvin Escomo. But before I'll end, allow me to give this note to you. A good curriculum plan helps to make learning and teaching consistent, where a student can walk away from a lesson with the same skills learned, whether they were taught by a major in the subject or by a teacher still learning themselves. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope you have learned something on subject-centered design. Have a great day ahead, my dear learners.